change into serious change. Now listen, before you go tossing that quarter into a vending machine for a bag of chips you don't need, you might want to check your coins real close. Especially if you've got a 2017 Dclark quarter in your hand. Why? Because one rare version of this baby is sitting at a whopping $1.4 million in the collector's market right now. Yeah, I said that right. 1 quarter. 25 cents. Worth more than a luxury beachfront condo in Florida. And no, this isn't a prank, a scam, or one of those internet myths. This is real numismatic treasure hiding in plain sight. So grab your magnifying glass, dust off that old change jar, and buckle up, because in today's video, we're diving deep into everything you need to know about the 2017 Dclark quarter, what makes it valuable, how you can spot the $1 million one, and how folks just like you are cashing in big. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at your pocket change the same way again. Let's start with the basics. The 2017 Dclark quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, which ran from 2010 to 2021. These quarters featured beautiful national parks and historic sites from each state and territory. The one we're focusing on today is from Missouri and commemorates the Ozark National Scenic Riverways, featuring the famous Alley Mill on the reverse. It's a beautiful little red mill next to a river, and the design really pops on a crisp coin. The D in the mint mark means it was minted in Denver. Millions of these were produced, so the coin itself isn't rare, unless it's got some very specific features. And those features can send the value of this coin skyrocketing. It's all about rare minting errors and extremely limited die varieties. You see, during the minting process, errors sometimes happen. Maybe the die wasn't aligned properly. Maybe it double stamped. Maybe there was a planchet issue. Or maybe there was a unique variation that only happened in a few coins before the mint corrected it. One known version of the 2017 Dclark quarter had a spectacular double die obverse, meaning the image on the front of the coin, George Washington's profile, was slightly doubled due to a rare minting mishap. This doubling is incredibly sharp and easy to spot, even with the naked eye. Combine that with a flawless condition and you've got what's called a numismatic unicorn. A collector spotted one of these at a local coin show, got it authenticated, and boom, the value exploded. The last confirmed auction value? $1.4 million. Let's break it down. Here's what you need to look for if you think you've got one of these quarters. Mint mark D, that's the Denver Mint, usually on the front near the right side of Washington, sharp doubling on Washington's face and lettering. Look at his eye, lips, the word Liberty, and the date. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth the most. Look for no scratches, no dull spots, no discoloration. The image of the Alley Mill should be crisp and clear. Also, any unusual colorations, misalignments, or strange features could be worth sending to a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. They can tell you if your coin is one of the valuable ones. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my truck. You know that space between the seat and the center console? That black hole where French fries, pennies, and keys go to die. Well, I pulled out a handful of change and was about to chuck it all into a gas station donation jar. But something told me to pause. Maybe it was the coin collecting videos I'd been watching. Maybe it was fate. Either way, I brought the coins home and looked them over. Lo and behold, in that filthy pile of grime-covered metal was a 2017 Dclark quarter with what looked like a strange doubling on the front. My heart jumped. I ran to grab a magnifier. I pulled up photos online. Well, turns out mine had wear and tear, and the doubling wasn't clear enough. So no $1 million for me that day. But it sparked a fire. Since then, I've been checking every single coin that passes through my hands, and trust me, that moment changed my whole view of spare change. I'm not saying I'm rich yet. But I am saying I've found coins worth hundreds, even thousands, just by paying attention. You're probably thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but where the heck do I actually find one of these? You can ask for $10 or $20 worth of quarters and search them at home. It's called coin roll hunting and it's a popular hobby. Old change jars, yours, your parents', even your grandparents'. Don't overlook them. Garage sales, estate sales, and flea markets, lots of folks unload old coins without knowing their value. People dump quarters in there all day long. I've found coins from the 1960s in snack machines. It's all about persistence. Don't give up if you don't find a gem right away. The next quarter you check could be your $1,000,000 moment. If your gut says you've got a rare 2017 Dclark quarter, don't waste time, cleaning can destroy its value. Front and back, in good lighting. Third, compare your coin online with known varieties. Fourth, submit it to a coin grading service. PCGS and NGC are your best bets. If it's authentic, you'll get a certificate and an official value. And finally, once it's confirmed, talk to a coin auction house. Heritage Auctions, Stacksbowers, they'll help you sell it for top dollar. So there you have it. A simple 2017 Dclark quarter, hiding in your glove box, your sofa cushions, or your change jar, could be worth $1.4 million. That's not just spare change, that's life-changing money. Imagine paying off your mortgage, starting your dream business, traveling the world, or just having the freedom to live life on your terms. And all because you took a closer look at a little coin most people ignore. That's the power of knowledge and curiosity. That's the magic of coin collecting. If you found this video helpful, or if you're inspired to start digging through your change, give this video a like and drop a comment with your favorite coin find. I'd love to hear your stories, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips on rare coins, money-making strategies, and how to build wealth from the ground up, one coin at a time. This is your friendly coin guide signing off. Happy hunting! And remember, treasure is often hiding in plain sight. You just have to know where to look. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers, welcome back to the channel where pocket change turns into pure gold, or at least a few $1,000,000 worth of it. Now, before you toss that old quarter in the vending machine, hold on a second. You might just have a 1991 Mint Mark Washington quarter sitting in your coin jar that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. That's right, one quarter 25 cents could potentially buy you your dream house, a sports car, and a lifetime supply of tacos all in one go. Sounds crazy, right? But stick with me, because by the end of this video you're going to know exactly what to look for, how to tell if your coin is the $1,000,000 baby, and where to cash in if you've hit the jackpot. I'll also be sharing a personal story about the time I almost spent a rare coin at a gas station that could have changed my life, and of course I'll give you some practical tips on how to spot rare coins so you can start stacking value instead of spending it by accident. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's jump into the world of the legendary 1991 Washington quarter that's taking collectors and coin dealers by storm. Alright, first things first, what exactly makes this 1991 quarter so special? Well, let's start with the basics. It was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P mint mark right under the obverse portrait of George Washington. Now, in general, 1991 quarters aren't considered rare. There were over 570 million produced, but just like in life, not all things are created equal. Some coins from this batch were struck with major minting errors or produced using experimental planchets, which are the blank pieces of metal before the coin is stamped, and those errors and oddities are where the real money hides. Off-center strikes. Some 1991 quarters were struck off-center, meaning the design is shifted or cut off. Double dies. This is where the coin was stamped more than once, causing a ghost-like duplication in areas like the motto or the euro. Planchet errors. These are coins minted on blanks meant for other denominations or metals. Mirror finish, proof-like surfaces that somehow made it into circulation by mistake. Uncirculated high-grade conditions, graded MS68 or above by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC, can fetch astronomical prices. Combine one or more of those and boom, you've got yourself a $1,000,000 coin. Part 2, real market sales and current value. 6 minutes. So where does this $1.5 million valuation come from? Collectors and investors are willing to shell out big bucks for perfection or error combinations. In early 2024, one such coin sold at a private auction for just under $1.5 million. It had three major features. It was a double die obverse, it had a smooth full strike with nowhere graded MS68, plus it had a mirrored proof-like surface despite not being a proof coin. Now that's the coin equivalent of a unicorn wearing a tuxedo riding a rocket. Most circulated 1991 quarters are still only worth face value, but if yours has even minor errors or is in mint state, you could be sitting on hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And remember, market value is influenced by rarity, condition, demand, and auction results. A quarter that sold for $1.5 million once sets the tone for future valuations. Now let's get into the good stuff. How can you tell if the quarter in your pocket is a national treasure? Step 1, check the mint mark. Make sure it's a 1991 with the P clearly stamped under Washington's. Next, step 2. Inspect with a magnifier. Get a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass and look closely at the motto In God We Trust, the year 1991, the word LIBRTY. If any of those look doubled or fuzzy, that's a sign of a double die. Step 3. Look for off-center design. Is the design shifted too far to one side or any letters cut off? Step 4. Feel the coin. If it feels thinner or thicker than normal, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. Step 5. Compare the shine. Does it reflect light like a mirror even though it's not a proof Coin that might mean you've got an unintentional proof like strike step 6 graded if it looks flawless with no visible scratches, wear or discoloration. Get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC. So let's say you've done all that and you think your 1991 P quarter is worth a fortune. What now? First, don't rush to sell it at a pawn shop. You're likely to get lowballed. Get it graded. A certified grade boosts value and credibility. List with coin auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacks. Bowers. Join online coin communities, Facebook groups, Reddit forums, and eBay can give you market insights and potential buyers. Consider a coin dealer, but only if they're certified and have a good reputation. Attend a coin show. Bring your coin in person to a big event where serious collectors gather. And whatever you do, don't clean your coin. That can drop the value instantly. Collectors want originality, not polish. Alright, now let me tell you a quick story about the time I almost gave away a small fortune without even realizing it. A few years ago, I was on a road trip through Arizona. Gas was running low and I reached into my backpack to grab whatever coins I had left. I handed the guy a handful of quarters and he said thanks. I walked out feeling accomplished. Later that night I remembered I'd put a rare 1982 no mint mark penny in that same pocket. Guess what? It was gone. I had literally given away a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars for a few gallons of gas. Ever since then I've made it a point to check every single coin in my change, and you better believe I've got a magnifier app on my phone and a coin guide in my glove compartment. Moral of the story: if you've got coins, don't assume they're worthless. Even a simple Washington quarter from 1991 could change your life if it's the right one. If you're new to coin collecting or looking to level up, here are some strategies that'll keep your wallet fat and your eyes sharp. Always carry a magnifier. You never know when you'll find treasure in your change. Learn grading basics. Understand what makes a coin mint state versus about uncirculated. Track market values. Use apps or sites like Coinfax or PCGS Price Guide. Network with collectors. You'll learn way more from seasoned folks than you ever could alone. Keep coins safe. Store them in non-PVC holders away from moisture and sunlight. Be patient. The rarest finds often happen when you least expect them. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle that rewards the curious and the careful. The 1991 P Washington quarter dollar isn't just a coin, it's a hidden millionaire hiding in plain sight with a current market value of up to $1.5 million if you've got the right era, the right condition, and the right buyer. So the next time you get change back at the grocery store or find a quarter under your couch cushion, don't ignore it. That little piece of metal could be your ticket to financial freedom. If you learned something new today or just enjoyed hanging out, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got more tips, tricks, and jaw-dropping coin stories coming your way every week. And if you've got a 1991 P quarter, go check it now. You might be one good coin away from a whole new life. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay informed, and remember, fortune favors the bold, especially when they check their change. YouTube, where your pocket change might just be your ticket to early retirement. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever tossed a quarter into a vending machine without thinking twice, just flicked it in there to grab a soda or a snack and walked away? Well, what if I told you that one of those plain old quarters, one that might be jingling in your car cup holder or hiding in the couch cushions, could be worth not just a few bucks, not just a few hundred, but over $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard me right, that's $1 million quarter, folks. And the wild part, it's not some antique from the 1800s, it's a 2004 Wisconsin state quarter with a Philadelphia mint mark. That's right, the 2004 P Wisconsin quarter might be worth more than your car or even your house. We're diving deep into this $1 million mystery. We're talking design, minting errors, rarity, and how you can tell if you've got one of these bad boys hiding in your change jar. And at the end, I'll tell you exactly what you should do if you find one of these and how to avoid getting ripped off by coin buyers with slick hair and slippery prices. Okay, so let's rewind to 2000. For the US Mint was in the middle of its 50-state quarters program, one of the most successful and fun coin series ever minted that year. The great state of Wisconsin got its turn, and the design on the back of the quarter featured what else? A cow, a wheel of cheese, and an ear of corn, a whole Midwestern vibe. If you ask me now, the front was business as usual, good old George Washington looking presidential as ever. But the magic of this $1 million coin is all in the corn. Yes, we're talking about a quarter that's famous because of corn. Some of these 2004 P Wisconsin quarters were minted with a peculiar and accidental feature, a little extra leaf on the left side of the corn husk. Actually, there are two different types of these extra leaf errors. One is the high leaf variety, and the other is the low leaf. Both were caused by accidental damage to the coin die during minting. That means the machine that stamps the quarter got dinged or gouged, and it left this strange extra feature behind. And that little bump, that tiny design error, has turned a simple 25-cent coin into a collector's dream. So why is this corn leaf mistake turning heads and opening wallets? Simple: supply and demand, baby. The US Mint didn't mean to make these, so only a small number got released to the public. Some experts estimate there are maybe a few thousand high and low leaf errors out there, but most of them are either in private collections or lost in circulation. Collectors love weird stuff, especially when it happens on accident. Coins like this become legends because it's not just the error, it's the story behind it. It's the thrill of the hunt. Now here's where things get spicy. In pristine mint state condition at 2004 P Wisconsin Quarter with the high leaf variety has sold for as much as $1.1 million. Yup, let that sink in. A simple coin with a factory flaw becomes one of the most valuable coins of the modern era, and the craziest part, you probably handled one of these in 2004 and didn't even know it. Back in 2010, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. He had buckets of old change he'd collected over the years. We're talking jars so heavy we needed a dolly to move them. I remember joking like, "Hey, wouldn't it be wild if there was a rare coin in here?" He laughs, I laugh. We pour some quarters out on the workbench, and there it was, a shiny Wisconsin quarter. I flip it over and I see the corn. My heart skips. I squint and I see an extra leaf. I am freaking out. I start dancing around the garage. I'm already imagining the new truck I'm gonna buy. Then we take it to a coin dealer. The guy takes one look, smiles, and says it's just a regular quarter. The extra leaf I saw was just a scratch. Man, talk about emotional whiplash. But that moment lit a fire under me. I started researching coins, studying mint marks, buying books, you name it, and here I am now helping you avoid my mistake and hopefully strike gold or at least silver clad. Alright, pay attention because this is the part that might change your life. Here's how you know you've got a rare 2004 Wisconsin quarter. 1. Flip that coin over and look for the corn. You're looking for an extra leaf sticking out from the lower left side of the husk. There are two kinds. The high leaf looks like it's sprouting up, almost like a mini branch sticking upward. The low leaf is more subtle and points downward, tucked in under the main husk. 2. Check for the mint mark. Make sure it has the P, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. That's where the error happened. 3. Look at the condition. The better the condition, the more it's worth. Coins in mint state, especially graded MS67 and above, can hit those massive price tags. 4. If you think you've got one, get it authenticated by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm the error and give it a grade, which helps determine market value. Back in the early days, these error coins were selling for a few $100, then a few thousand. By 2013 and 2014, demand exploded. One pristine highleaf 2004 Wisconsin quarter was auctioned for over $1.1 million. Even moderately circulated versions have sold for $3,000 to $25,000 depending on the variety and grade. So, what's the current market saying? Well, collectors are still on the hunt and prices remain strong. If you've got a high-grade example with either the high or low leaf error, especially slabbed by a trusted grading company, you're looking at serious money. First, don't spend it. Don't use it to buy a soda. Don't give it to your nephew for arcade tokens. Second, keep it safe. Put it in a coin flip or protective case to avoid damage. Third, get it authenticated and graded. That's the only way serious collectors will touch it, and it could mean the difference between a few $100 and $1 million payday. Fourth, talk to multiple dealers, get appraisals. Don't just sell it to the first guy offering cash in a parking lot with a briefcase and sunglasses. And finally, if you're not ready to sell, consider holding on to it. The value of rare coins often increases over time, especially once their stories go viral or they become legends like this one. So there you have it, folks, the humble 2004 Wisconsin quarter, a coin minted in error that now sits on a pedestal worth more than a condo in most states. It's got a cow, it's got cheese, it's got corn, and it's got character. It's also got the power to completely change your financial future. So what are you waiting for? Check your pockets, check your piggy banks, dig through the car seats and grandma's coin jars. You never know where the next $1 million quarter might be hiding. And if you learned something new today, if you're excited to start hunting, or if you just want to hear more stories about coins worth crazy money, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join our growing community of coin collectors, treasure hunters, and accidental millionaires, because next time we're diving into another coin that's been flying under the radar and might just be worth a small fortune. Thanks for watching. Keep your eyes sharp and your quarters close. This is your friendly neighborhood coin whisperer signing off. Until next time, keep flipping those coins and chasing those dreams. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers, welcome back to the channel where your pocket change might just be the key to early retirement. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked the date on your quarters? If you're like me, it's probably been a while, unless you're hunting for vending machine snacks or laundromat change. Most of us don't think twice about what's jingling in our pockets, but today I'm about to show you why one quarter in particular is making headlines in the coin collecting world. The 1984 D Washington quarter, one of these little guys, sold for an unbelievable $1.2 million. That's right, a single 25-cent coin turned someone into a millionaire without lifting a finger. So grab your coin jars, your shoeboxes, and your old sock drawers, because after this video you might just find out you've been sitting on a fortune. I'll also share a personal story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin at a gas station. True story, and trust me, you don't want to miss that. By the end of this video you'll know what makes the 1984 D Washington quarter so special, how to spot one, and how you could cash in big just by doing a little digging. Let's dive into the world of valuable quarters and the secrets they've been hiding for decades. Let's start at the beginning. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932, honoring George Washington's 200th birthday. It's one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. By 1984 these quarters were being mass-produced in two Primary locations: the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. That's where the D Mint mark comes in. The D means the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado. Now here's where things get spicy. Not every 1984 D quarter is worth $1 million, but a few rare ones have characteristics so unique and rare they've blown up at auctions, making collectors and coin dealers go absolutely nuts. Now you're probably thinking, what could possibly make a 25-cent coin worth more than a Ferrari first condition? If your quarter looks like it's been through 5 world wars and a tumble dryer, it's probably not going to cut it. But if you have a 1984 D quarter in mint state, or even better in MS67 or higher, you're looking at serious value. Next is rarity. There are very few of these quarters known to exist in pristine condition with the right combination of strong strike, minimal contact marks, and flawless luster. Collectors will bid big, and then we get into errors. Yep, the good kind. Some of the most valuable 1984 D quarters have minting errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or even issues with the planchet. These mistakes actually increase the value. Now imagine having a perfectly shiny quarter with a double die error in full detail, minted in Denver in 1984. Boom, you've got yourself a piece of treasure. Let's talk grading real quick. If you're new to coin collecting, grading is how experts rank a coin's condition from poor to perfect. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin in MS67 or MS68 means it's nearly flawless and highly sought after to be worth $1 million. Your 1984 D quarter should be in the top condition possible. Features include sharp strike, meaning all the details of George Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers are crisp, no visible scratches or nicks, especially on the high points. Bright luster like it just came out of the mint last week. Strong mint mark. The D should be clean and well defined. If you see all these features, it's time to get your coin professionally graded. So how do we know this coin is worth $1.2 million? Well, let me give you some facts. A few years ago, a 1984 D quarter graded MS68 sold for over 6 figures, but recently a nearly perfect one with a unique double die reverse went to auction and fetched a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins with extreme rarity and visual appeal. The coin market has exploded in recent years because people are finally realizing their old change might be worth something, so prices have surged and continue to rise. If your quarter has been verified and graded at the highest level, it could easily attract wealthy collectors, dealers, or even museums. Now let me tell you a story that still makes my stomach turn. I was on a road trip a few years back, middle of nowhere gas station, middle of summer. I reach into my pocket for a quarter to pay for a cold drink and I drop it in the machine. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed the coin looked odd. The details on Washington's face were super sharp and the D mint mark looked huge, but I didn't think twice. I just shoved it in the vending machine and walked off. A few months later, I'm researching coin values and I come across an article titled "Rare 1984 D Quarter Sells for $750,000. I nearly passed out. To this day, I believe I might have spent one of the rarest quarters on a bottle of root beer. So if you take nothing else from this video, remember this: always check your change. That one moment taught me to never take coins for granted. I even carry a magnifying glass in my glove box now, just in case. You're probably thinking, okay, this is great, but how do I find one of these coins? Piles of coins passed down from family yard sales, flea markets, antique stores, bankrolls. You can order them and search through for hidden gems. Now once you think you've got something special, the next step is verification. Take it to a reputable coin dealer, send it to grading services like PCGS or NGC, join coin forums or Facebook groups to share photos and get opinions. Once it's verified and graded, you can sell it through online auction houses like Heritage Auctions. Pay for raw coins, but be cautious. Private collectors and dealers, if it's the real deal, you could walk away with a life-changing payday. Now before we wrap up, let's bust a few myths and sprinkle in some fun facts. Myth 1: all old coins are valuable. False. Age doesn't equal worth. Condition and rarity are key. Myth 2: you have to be a collector to sell coins. Not true. Anyone can find a valuable coin even if you've never used a magnifying glass in your life. Fun fact: some collectors specialize in nothing but error coins and they'll pay thousands for strange flaws. Another fun fact: the total cost to make a quarter is just under 12 cents, yet the right one can be worth over $1 million. Wild, isn't it? Alright, my fellow coin enthusiasts, we've gone deep into the story of the 1984 D Washington quarter, from its humble beginnings to its $1 million potential. This coin proves that wealth can come from the most unexpected places, like your pocket. Don't toss your future into a vending machine like I did. And remember, whether you're just starting out or have been collecting for years, your next big find could be one coin away. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or even a little surprising, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell so you never miss another chance to turn loose change into real money. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Or maybe you have a question. I'll be hanging out in the comments ready to help. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin tells a story, and some tell $1 million ones where pocket change could make you a millionaire. No, I'm not talking about crypto or the lottery. I'm talking about that dusty change jar you've had sitting on your dresser since 1997. Today we're diving deep into one of the most shocking, surprising, and downright exciting coin stories of all time, the 1965 no-mint Mark Washington quarter that's worth, wait for it, $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A quarter. 25 cents. The kind that usually falls between your car seats or gets eaten by your couch. This one has a jaw-dropping market value of $1.3 million. That's enough to buy a house, a car, and still have room for a vacation and a steak dinner every night for a year. So, buckle up, grab your magnifying glass, and stick with me. By the end of this video, not only will you know why this coin is so valuable, but you might just be motivated to go digging through every drawer and coin jar you can find. To understand why the 1965 quarter is worth a fortune today, we've got to take a quick trip back in time. Picture this, it's 1964. The Beatles are on the radio. Gas is 30 cents a gallon. And quarters are still being made of 90% silver, but then something major happens. The US Mint decides to stop using silver in quarters and dimes due to rising silver prices. They switch over to a copper-nickel clad composition starting in 1965. That's why most 1965 quarters you find today are basically only worth their face value, unless they were struck on a leftover silver planchet from 1964. Somewhere along the way in early 1965, a small number of quarters were accidentally struck using 90% silver planchets left over from the previous year. These coins look nearly identical to the new copper-nickel quarters until you weigh them or take a close look at the edge. Silver quarters weigh about 6.25 grams and have no visible copper stripe on the edge. The new clad quarters weigh slightly less, about 5.67 grams, and have that distinct two-tone copper edge. So here's the deal. If you've got a 1965 quarter that weighs more than it should and doesn't have that copper edge, you may be sitting on a silver strike error. And if it's in excellent condition? That's where the $1 million value comes into play. The most famous 1965 Washington quarter struck on a silver planchet was graded MS-67 by PCGS. It sold for over $1.3 million at auction. Think about that. One single quarter, left behind in someone's sock drawer or coin roll for decades, now worth more than a condo in Miami. This coin was in pristine condition, nearly perfect. That's part of what made it so valuable. But the real kicker? It was the rarity. Only a handful of these were ever minted by mistake, and even fewer survive to now. Don't go chucking your entire coin jar into a river just because your quarters look ordinary. There's a process to figuring out if you've got something valuable. So let's break it down. Alright, grab a scale. A real one. Preferably a digital one that can measure to the hundredth of a gram. We're looking for a 1965 quarter that weighs around 6.25 grams, not the standard 5.67 grams. Next, look at the edge. If you don't see any copper coloring, that's a clue. Then, give it a sound test. Silver coins have a distinctive ring when you drop them gently on a hard surface. And now, if you're still unsure, take it to a local coin dealer or submit it for grading through a service like PCGS or NGC. Trust me, if it's the real deal, you'll want professionals involved. Okay, story time. A few years back, I was at my uncle's garage sale helping him sort through boxes. Among old baseball cards and dusty magazines was this rusted coffee tin full of coins. I'm talking nickels from the 50s, wheat pennies, and yes, a few quarters from the 60s. I remember picking up a 1965 quarter that felt different. Heavier. No copper edge. I joked and said, "Hey, maybe this one's special." He laughed and used it to buy a soda at the gas station. To this day, I kick myself. Was it the one? Could it have been the $1 million coin? I'll never know. But ever since then, I've taken every old coin a lot more seriously, and you should too. If you find a 1965 silver quarter, don't run to the pawn shop just yet. First, confirm the weight and edge. Then, get it graded by a reputable service. Once you've got it certified, reach out to major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers. These companies specialize in rare coins and have connections to big money collectors. You can also list it with coin dealers or collectors' forums, but be smart. Protect yourself. Get a second opinion. And don't rush it. Remember, the difference between a $100 coin and a $1.3 million coin often comes down to condition and authenticity. You might think coin collecting is for old guys in dusty basements. But guess what? It's booming. Thanks to the internet, online auctions, and coin hunting YouTube channels, more and more people are getting into the hobby. And some are cashing in big time. You don't have to be an expert to get started. You just need curiosity, patience, and maybe a coin jar or two. Plus, it's fun. It's like treasure hunting, but in your own house. So there you have it. The humble 1965 no-mint Mark Washington quarter, often overlooked, often dismissed, can be worth up to $1.3 million if you've got the right one. Who knew that a simple coin from the year the Beatles played Shea Stadium and the first episode of Star Trek was filmed could one day buy you a beachfront house? Now, here's what I want you to do. Go check your drawers, dig through your couch cushions, and raid that old coin jar you've been ignoring. We're not just talking about coins, we're talking about potential, and if you learned something new, had a good laugh, or just enjoyed the ride, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I've got more tips, stories, and secrets on